my idea of society is that it sets us up to fail no matter, like right when you hit 18 to the time you die, hopefully of old age. Things gradually start to get better if you're progressing how society wants you to. But it seems like as a young adult, you have the short end of the stick, and you're basically set up to fail with minimum wage jobs and
neighborhoods.
Yeah, neighborhoods.
Zip codes.
Yep, and being introduced into debt by college or
what
whatever.
area you're in can define your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
I was reading this one thing. Here's a really good example. So don't you know how like people always like really racist people would always argue.
Yeah.
Black people are always very violent. That's why 80% of jails are like blah, blah, blah. And then I was like reading this one thing that said, well, if they're going to argue that, this is a pretty good one, just the area that people are in, you know, they're working the minimum wage jobs just trying to get by. At some point, you know, you're going to have to resort to certain like alternatives, and that's not like really your fault. That's just the way like the government puts you in. And, you know, I kind of agree with that. Like if people are going to argue that, this is a really good counter argument.
It's like we try to give the society so we can move up in life, but society ain't giving us a try. So it's like y'all are keeping us down here. This because like y'all like you want a working class, you want that non-working class, and you want the upper edge.
You want to work for $8 an hour.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's like now in some cases you do choose to stay where you're at. In some cases, and very rare cases at that. But at the same time, it's like say you get this opportunity to do this. Then someone says, oh, we're going to choose this person just because they have that certain look. You may not have that look, but you got better credentials than the other person.
Well, not just that. Literally, like, they'll just decide on name. Like, if me and Terrell just went for the same job, there's a better chance I'm going to get the job just based off my name because I have a wider name than him. So.
And that's what society is.
Yeah,
and that's what really sucks because no matter how hard you work or no matter how hard you try and, like, achieve what you want, it's all based on your color, your name, and your background. If your parents had money, it runs up on you. If your parents like didn't have money, of course it's going to run up on you. Yeah. So that's how society is, and it sucks because the rich succeed.
Well, yeah, but like here's just like one thing: my parents don't have money. My family's kind of broke. But like I still live in a good neighborhood.
Right.
I have a good area code. Like
I think that's
give some my address. They're like, oh, that place. Okay.
It's like I think that's the thing with a lot of people though. It's like they know. It's like they know what's going on, but they don't want to accept it just because it ain't happening to them.
No, because they don't want to believe that things are that bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like
for them.
Like if me and you went for the same job. Like right now we're doing the same thing. You got hired because you're white. You got hired because your hair looks like this. It's like
I got nice hair.
It's like everything could go down to really how your hair looks in some cases. Like that's how bad stuff gets.
Yeah, it's gonna get that bad. And honestly, I think that we're getting better on it, but I don't think it's gonna change.
So?
I don't know. Change anytime soon.
I don't know.
It's getting better for some communities.
I mean, when I say better, I mean like. I don't mean like I don't mean like wow we're so progressive now. No, I mean like
it's like we're inching.
There's still that group of ignorant people. There's still that
there's
wide
always
group.
Gonna be.
I don't care if you're blue, black, white, orange, red. I do not care. It's just like the ignorance of people, and that's what gets to it these days. You know.
I think
like just what happened a few weeks ago in Virginia, Charleston, I believe. And
that's just
the big guy in charge said there was good people on both sides.
But there isn't.
No.
Yeah,
okay, here's another thing that my whole argument with that whole thing is that obviously that's just humans. They want to believe that nothing goes right for them.
Yeah.
But in reality, there's always going to be one group that has it less than you. So like that's why like when you try and explain like white privilege to people. To like white people, I accepted it really easily because like,
it's not what's going to work to them just because that like that became routine for them to get what they
like and it's more than just like financial stuff. It involves like again jobs. It involves how people look at you. It's more meta than just money, you know.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of white people don't want to accept that white privilege is because they think. They're looking at themselves and they're saying, wow, everything goes really bad for me, because that's just how people think. So everything goes bad for them. That's how everyone thinks. but obviously they get it better than other people. That's the reason why I think society sets a lot of people up to fail.
Yeah.
And, you know, they set everyone up to fail, obviously.
Yeah.
But they obviously also cater more for certain people.
But what I'm curious about is, why is the black community seen as the failing race? And what are we doing wrong? And that's the question I ask myself. And my answer is,
Without conspiracies.
I feel like
Stay away from
growing up,
conspiracies.
like in public schools, I've noticed in the black community, we always try to compete with each other with clothing and stuff. And
They're not competing for the right
we
things.
prematurely date,
But-
and that's what brings on early
I think another thing
pregnancies,
is that, well, yeah. that's
which
not-
is another causing factor. Of
Yeah.
that.
And it's bad enough. I'm not trying to like bring any like women into this, but it's bad enough they see black women as angry women. Period. They don't
Right.
see it
Which
as.
is also a big problem.
It's a huge
Yeah.
problem because I'm not gonna say you can like whatever. I
Like
support
when,
irracial dating to the fullest. Like
me
you
too.
like whoever you like. But it's just like a lot of people don't agree, and it's just like why? And black men, no offense, are like stereotyped to cheat and
Yep.
hurt
Oh yeah,
black
and that's
women.
that's another big problem. I don't know if any of you guys went through that in like middle school or elementary school
yeah.
or high school, where they said, "Oh, you act really white,"
Yeah.
and and I remember like you
Yeah,
going through
it's
that,
sort of
like that like puts you down, like you don't feel good about yourself. You're like, wow, and no one
Like
really likes me then.
you talk really proper. You talk white. Like no, this is how I talk. There's no, type of language I'm speaking. I'm speaking how I want to speak.
It's like
educated.
It's like if you don't fit the image people see you as, they try to say, "Nah, that's not how you look. That's not how you supposed to be acting."
Right.
Like, okay, well, how you gonna tell me
how
how to
I
live
want.
my own life? How you gonna tell me
Right.
who I am?
And as
Right.
being a black man, they expect you to play sports, listen to hip hop music.
By the way, society
And-
also tells you to do that to be real ghetto.
Right.
Yeah.
Which
And,
puts you down.
They
Yeah,
want us
from-
divided.
Yeah, they want you
basically, they see the
divided.
Asians as the really smart, skilled people. They see the white people as the richest and the most superior, and then here's the black people, just the
I'm sorry.
very bottom.
I'm
That's
just
it.
curious, with you being the only white male at the table,
Yeah.
what are your expectations as being white? What are some stereotypes
That's a good
that
question.
people might put on your race?
Well,
Because we know the black communities.
I'm not supposed to be very liberal with my thoughts. I'm supposed to be very conservative with my thoughts. Which basically means if they aren't me, they're not my color. Which a lot of people are going to disagree with me if there's any white people actually watching. But that's just what I've been getting out of society is, for white people, you need to be conservative. You need to be real edgy too, for some reason. You have to be like, oh, well, I only believe I'm out for myself, which is how every fucking white person is apparently. I've never been like that. My whole morality is if someone's asking for help, just help them, which is why I'm a big supporter of like Black Lives Matter and like everything else, is because people are asking for help. Yeah. Go.
So, do you feel like a pariah?
A pariah?
Yeah, it's like with your views, as opposed to like how you said white people are supposed to act.
Yeah.
You do?
No, what's a pariah? I don't really know what that is.
Like a black sheep, like
Like a black sheep.
like different.
Oh, I never really thought about it. Yeah, sometimes I do, because
Because it's like going back to society, they expect you to act a certain way, and you don't.
right.
You know, so like with black people.
But then there's like that whole other society that's kind of like me,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
which
I
is
mean,
kind of
yeah,
nice,
yeah, it's
but
like-
it's also kind of awkward because whenever I hang out with like my like friends and everything at Columbus State, they always bring up like Black Lives Matter and everything, and then they're talking about how like white people are bad and everything, and then like I'm still like right here, and I know what they're talking about, I know what they mean, I know they don't really mean anything against me, but then it also kind of feels like like I'm still like right here.
Yeah.
It's kind of like awkward a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and going back to the society thing, like black people, they expect black people to be ghetto, loud, ignorant,
Yeah.
and like when you're not like that, it kind of
It
causes you to
overwhelms
be the black sheep.
Yeah.
You feel outcasted by people,
Yeah.
by people of your own race, and when you're not like that, like I don't know you like that, but I can tell you're not like that. I know Ernest is internalism. So it's just a society thing. So that's why I asked you if you feel
I mean,
like that.
I usually, like, if someone, like, calls me out on that, like, oh, this is a really common thing I get. Oh, you're a traitor to your own race.
Wow.
I've heard that.
I've got that
How are
a
you
lot.
I have like 2 white friends that I hang out with, and people like they support the Black Lives Matter as well, but then they get that too. Oh, you're a traitor against your own. No,
Because-
that's just how they want to
I
support.
understand what that's about. Like, I always, like, I remember, people, like, just random people telling me, like, oh, you're a traitor to your own race, and they just listen into on a conversation. I'm like, I don't even know you. Who are you?
Now, see, the thing is though, like a lot of it, like even in media, like they take basic human instinct and turn it around and make you look worse than what you already are, which degrades your race, your people, you as a person even more than what it is. Like that's like you're just walking down the street and random cop runs up on you, you don't know why. Basic human instinct, you're automatically going to swing and fight him. Just because you don't know what's going on,
Right.
But like, if that's not even just a cop. If anybody runs up on me, and I think it's a threat, I'm gonna swing at
You
you.
guys heard of, White Knights? Ever heard of those?
Uh-uh.
Like, people that are, like, this, but, like, way too into it. Like, they feel like, we're at the point where it's actually racist at that point, because they feel like they're helping them. Like, oh, I'm here to save you from all this stuff, and it's still degrading, and it's still looking down on you, and they don't realize that.
Like sympathy can be taken out of proportion sometimes.
Like they're trying to make you like them. They are. Something like
sort
that.
of. It's more like a. Don't you know, like, those little? This is where the term even comes from. Don't you know, like, medieval stories where this hero comes to, like, a village or something, and they said, "Oh, I'm gonna save you guys."
It's like a
and they're
savior complex.
we don't need saving. Like, we don't know you.
Wow.
Everything's fine here, and then you came. Everything's going kind of bad. You're looking down on us. Why are you even looking down on us?
Well, do you think that these problems are able to be fixed, or is this something that will always...
At this point in
It
time?
can. It's going to take.
It'd be years.
That monster in office.
It would be years.
I was about to say, in this point in time,
I personally
no.
think it can't be fixed. There's
I don't-
just some things
I
that
don't
just
think
can't
it
be
can.
fixed.
Like I
It's
even
passed
said,
down.
like I told you before, I left the whole military thing because of that, and I told my mom, I said, as long as he's running things, I'm never going back.
This
Like-
day and age, as millennials now, people, as our parents and the people, who raised us, they look down on us because just like, who taught you this stuff? Who, like, where do you get this stuff from? But you have to realize that we are raised by you.
Yeah.
So
One
what
good
you
thing
teach
that you
us,
can actually kind of see is, like, kind of another privilege is, at least in my family, I'm allowed to think however I want. That's pretty nice. I don't think in a black community you can really think. I think you're supposed to think however your parents think.
you overthink.
Yep.
And if you don't, then they'll be like, oh, well,
A
what's
lot
wrong
of
with you?
A lot of times that's what causes a lot of
Family disconnections.
family disconnections. That causes you like to have a mental breakdown sometimes because like
You
you're.
don't feel like you're loved anymore.
No, I'm saying like you feel like you're betrayed by your parents. You feel like you have to think how they think, but at the same time, you as a person is conflicting with who you're raised to be.